What's going on, guys? Jake the Brogrammer here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about FAANG companies and why a FAANG company might not be for you. So without further ado, let's dive in. First off, what is a FAANG company? Well, it's technically manga now since Facebook changed its name to Meta, but we're just gonna call it FAANG for the sake of simplicity. FAANG companies are your top tier high-tech companies. They stand for Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. And these 5 tech companies are very, very popular among software engineers. One of the reasons they stand out is because they pay higher than any other tech company. At Google, senior software engineers get paid over $300,000 a year. Senior software engineers at Amazon can make over $400,000 a year. Look, put it this way, if you work at a FAANG company, you can make a lot of money. And that's what attracts a lot of people to the FAANG companies. Apart from that, there's some prestige to working at FAANG companies. You get to work on cool shit, whether that's designing the user interface for Gmail or working on data software for Amazon. You're working on something that people use on a daily basis. Now, before we go any further, what I need you guys to understand is that I am not bashing on FAANG companies. They're awesome. And if joining a FAANG company is one of your dreams, I'm all for you chasing that dream. I just want to make sure that you understand everything there is about FAANG companies before making that dive in. And we're going to be talking about alternative career paths rather than FAANG companies that might be better suited for you. So first, let's talk about the skills required to land a job at a FAANG company. The barrier of entry to get into a FAANG company is broken down into 2 things. Number 1, your skills with data structures and algorithms. And number 2, having the ability to pass an extensive interview process. Let's start with data structures and algorithms. FAANG companies are looking for top tier talent. Netflix just isn't going to give a $500,000 salary to anyone. You need to be an effective problem solver. And in the coding world, the only way to have that ability is by understanding data structures and algorithms, because they are the most effective way to solve problems in code. And it's important because these high-tech companies have a lot of data to manage. Let's take a look at this article about the skills and competencies required to get hired at a FAANG company. The FAANG companies hire many engineers as they are always looking for the best talent. How you can get a job in FAANG companies. Above all, one needs to focus on harnessing the soft skills required to be hired by a FAANG company. You're going to be working with a large team of developers, and that's going to require you to have a good understanding of the best coding practices. Pretty much being able to write clean and effective code. And one of the best ways to do that is by having a strong foundation of data structures and algorithms. Now, granted, this can be applied to pretty much any job, but FAANG companies want the best of the best. So you're gonna have to be proficient. Plus, this leads into the interview process, which we're gonna dive into right now. Number 1, we have the pre-screening round. In this phase, the resume is shortlisted by the recruiter, and this is considered one of the most difficult parts to crack. A candidate would need to grab the attention of the recruiter by making their CV stand out from the crowd. Next, we have the interview process. And these are generally around 3 to 7 rounds of interviews for an entry-level position. That's a lot of interviews. Then we have the technical test. These are the concepts where you have to know data structure and algorithms. Guys, you have to be able to ace those interviews. And you're gonna be asked some hard, timed questions. And then, of course, you have the personal interview, and this is pretty much seeing whether or not you're a good fit for the company. This is where you need more than just technical skills. They want to make sure you can work well in a team, be dedicated, and be able to hold yourself accountable to meeting their expectations. We can see that the skills and competencies required to get hired by the FAANG companies are quite different from most other companies. You have to be able to stand out. So that's just some general information about FAANG companies and how it's going to be difficult to land a job at one. So now let's talk about some of the reasons that a FAANG company might not be for you. First of all, FAANG jobs take time. And you're not going to be able to join one right out the gate after you learn how to code. A lot of people think that after they graduate a boot camp or finish college that they can just immediately dive into a FAANG company. And while there are some unicorns out there that can do that, it's just not realistic for everyone. So I want to make sure that you guys understand what exactly you're getting into. That's why at Devslopes we get so frustrated when we see YouTube videos like, finish this course and you'll get a job at Google. Because it's just not realistic, and this process is going to take more than just 1 year of learning how to code, and it's definitely going to take more than just a 3-month-long course. I don't know about you, but if I can make good money without having to go through this extensive process, I'm doing that. Secondly, that work-life balance we talked about, it's not realistic for FAANG jobs. In fact, a lot of FAANG companies don't even want their employees working remotely anymore. And lastly, FAANG jobs can be exhausting, and you're constantly gonna have to be a high performer. Like I said, FAANG companies want the best of the best, and they're gonna be expecting you to deliver what they need. Let's talk about stack ranking for a second. Stack ranking is basically where they take the lowered percentage, the not so high performing people, and they cut them out of the company. Check this out. Amazon reportedly evaluates its office workers with a tiered system that targets 6% of them leaving every year. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go through an extensive, long interview process just to be worried that I might not even have a job within a year of being there. I want job security. And if you're someone that has a family and you need to be able to make money to provide for that family, or if you're someone who just wants a safe environment, FAANG companies might not be able to give you that. But at the same time, if you're up for that, then by all means, aim for it. It's going to be a challenge. It is hard work, and you're going to be building cool shit. And at Devslopes, we're all about building cool shit. And I want you to know that there are other options for you outside of FAANG companies, ones that don't require an extensive interview process or having to always be a top performer. I just want to make sure you know everything you need to know, because what we're about to dive into next is companies that maybe not pay just as much as FAANG companies, but they still pay you a lot of money without all of those things that we just talked about. What I'm at here is levels.fyi. All of the links to these articles and this right here is all gonna be in the description down below, so feel free to check it out. But guys, let's take a look at some other companies that are paying not maybe as much as FAANG companies, but still a lot of money. Let's take a look at Walmart, for example. Because guys, it's important to keep in mind that everywhere needs software engineers. Boom, senior software engineering salary, $200,000 a year. Entry level, $116,000 a year. I don't know about you, but that's pretty awesome. Let's check out Spotify. Entry level, $127,000 a year. Senior level, $273,000 a year. Check out Intuit. Boom, $149,000 a year starting. $249,000 senior software engineer. Guys, this is a lot of money. And going into the field of programming without the intentions of joining a FAANG company is still a great idea, especially compared to like becoming a nurse and having to go through 4 years of a university in order to obtain that. This is something that you can obtain with just 16 to 18 months of learning. So guys, that's it. I just want to make sure that you have an understanding of what you're getting into and that you're not trying to join a FAANG company without having a complete understanding of what else might be out there that fits what you need as a programmer. I just don't want you to set a goal of getting a job at a FAANG company within 1 to 2 years of learning and getting disappointed, because the reality is something like that could make you discouraged from the field of programming in its entirety. And guys, I spent 6 hours researching the coding job market, and in that video I answered the question of should you even consider pursuing a programming career in 2023. So feel free to check that video out right here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please check out our free Discord community down below and join it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.